Caballero will not start. So we're gonna spray some gas down the carburetor. And if it fires up, then that means something's wrong with the fueling system. And if it doesn't, then there's something with the spark, probably the distributor.
And what we have down here, here's the mechanical fuel pump. And so what happens here is when you're cranking the motor, there's a rod that pushes down and pulls fuel up from the mechanical fuel pump. The fuel pump could be faulty, but it's mechanical, so I don't know that that's it. The secondary thing is it could be a distributor back here not sending spark. So we're just going to test real quick by pouring fuel into the vent tubes here of the front and rear bowl of the carburetor. And I'm going to do that with a syringe right here. All right, this is a small syringe. It's best if you got a bigger one because it looks like I should put about 40 mils of fuel into each float bowl. So that's going to take some time.
Okay, I think we have found the culprit. The fuel pump is probably cooked. So what are we gonna do?
Yeah, well, so the car, you could see the car started up with the fuel that was in the carburetor, but once it burned off, it wouldn't stay started. So I think the fuel pump is having difficulty getting fuel into the motor. So looks like we're gonna have to take a trip over to AutoZone and get a replacement fuel pump for this puppy.
Fuel pump acquired. All right, before we do anything, there's a trick that I've seen where you take a bolt from the fuel pump here, and there's a little bolt here. It's like basically a little plug. And if you take the one from here and put it there, it'll hold that rod that otherwise will be stuck. So I'm gonna do that first before we do anything else. Alright, I got that bolt in. Don't crank it down too hard because you can damage the push rod that pushes on that little lever of the fuel pump. So you just want it snug, but don't like crank on it. Now it's time to remove the actual fuel pump and then put the new one on and reverse the whole process. Alright, I cannot for the life of me get this metal fuel line off. So I think I'm gonna call it for today and we'll tackle it another day.
Tomorrow for sure.
Alright, I've been working at this stupid freaking flare nut for so long that I've completely rounded it off, so I think we're getting radical. Oh boy. Alright, there's that push rod I was talking about earlier, and unfortunately I did not crank that bolt in enough to hold it up, so that's going to be an absolute pain to get back up, but we'll deal with it. Off camera, I went ahead and took the air box off, so now we got easy access to that flare nut right there, so we'll take that off.
Of course it wants to turn that whole thing. Oh, because we did the fuel filter, that's why.
Oh!
No, it doesn't want to do it. I just want to
Cut it again.
Voila.
Lovely.
Fuel filter.
Well, if we need to change the filter, then we can. All right, breakthrough. My dad discovered that if you use a tablecloth holder and shove it under there, and you can see the push rod's moving, so that's good.
This is like, I don't know, this has got to be at least 15 years old tube of gasket sealer. Seems like there's still some that's okay in there. But again, we're under the $50 rule, and we're only $15 in. This pump was only 25 bucks, and I got a $10 core credit for an old battery I returned. So we're well under budget so far, but we got to get a new fuel line, we know that. But as part of the spirit, we're going to use this old gasket sealer. Yeah, it looks all right. There we go.
Ah, yeah.
It works fine.
That's usable. All right, it's in. Yes, let's go.
I'm going to take a moment here to pay respects to this tablecloth holder. This was the key piece that allowed us to hold that push rod up and finagle that thing in. So, well done. It was just laying on the garage floor.
All right, I'm gonna start by putting that rubber hose back onto that, where is it, nipple right there. And then we have the block plug that we tried to use to hold that push rod up, but it didn't really work out for us. So yeah, I'm gonna get down to the business of putting that stuff back.
Sweet.
One fuel line purchase later.
All right, we finally got it. Let's put it in the car before this storm comes in. All right, after about 30 minutes of wrangling this little fuel line around in this engine bay, I kind of got it routed somewhat. So now I'm gonna get to tightening these flare nuts down, and then we'll be finished and we'll see if it'll fire up. Refilling the car. One thing about the gas tank, you have to sit here for quite a while, because when you put gas in the tank, it'll come up and it'll take like quite a while to burp. You could probably hear it doing it right now. So basically you put in like a spoonful at a time, and it just, you gotta wait for it to go all the way down, because the tank doesn't burp the proper way. So it takes quite a while. I'm gonna be here for a good 10 minutes.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if all this work was worth it. The starter's a bit weak. Yes! Let's go! Oh, I'm so stoked. Let's go! go. I'm so stoked. Great success. Also, just a quick little note. Sorry that my content's been a little slow. I've been just trying to find things to do with all these cars, and it's quite difficult when nothing's happened until now. And I've been saving up $5 for my Saab. I am gonna be away in Europe for a month, and those videos are gonna be on my main channel. But we're gonna get the ball rolling again because I finally saved up $5 to spend on the Saab for all the problems. All right, we've successfully put the new fuel pump in and we got it to start up. I'm gonna put the rest of the airbox back together and I'll see y'all in the next one.